Everyone, welcome back to today's video. So I'm so excited. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my top foundations for oily skin. If you've been with me here on my channel for a while, then you probably know that I have super oily skin. It's something that I've struggled with for quite a while as to trying to find products that really are going to hold up and last throughout the day. I've tried out a ton of foundations that claim to last all day and are good for oily skin and are matte, and I found that not necessarily matte foundations are good for oily skin and vice versa. So I will be sharing with you guys like my favorites and like why they're my favorites. So I have 6 foundations to share with you guys today, which I'm really proud of, and actually a lot of them are drugstore, so that's great for those of you who are on a budget. That way you don't have to go out and spend a ton of money. But really quickly before I get started, I just want to go over like the things that I look for in a foundation as somebody with oily skin. So naturally, products like to slide off my skin, or my skin just likes to eat up products. So I go through foundation very quickly in the sense that like I feel like I have to apply a lot for it to kind of like look like I'm wearing foundation and get the coverage that I need, just because products like to slip off, or again my face wants to eat it. So I look for something that's not going to get shiny throughout the day. Now I am used to like powdering and baking and all that stuff because all those things really help, but at the end of the day I don't want to have to be powdering every like hour or so. So these foundations are really good in the sense that like I don't feel like I need to. If you suffer from oily skin like me and you're having a hard time finding a good foundation, then just keep watching. So I thought I'd start off with my like probably top favorite or like most used foundation. This is something I've repurchased now like 3 or 4 times. I discovered this back in high school from a good friend of mine. She was a what was she? She was like an Irish step dancer, so she really needed makeup that was gonna last well underneath the lights and like throughout like the dance routine and all that stuff. So she recommended this MAC Studio Fix Fluid foundation to me, and guys, literally I talk about this all the time. It is by far like my holy grail like foundation. It's something that I don't wear every single day because it definitely has more of a heavy like full coverage look. But on days where like I have a special occasion, or I'm going out at night, or like I'm trying to look flawless for pictures, this is definitely like what I reach for, and I wear the shade NC20. What's awesome about MAC is that they have a large shade selection, so there's definitely something for everyone. But what I love about this foundation is that even though it is a matte foundation, I do find that it has more of like a satin finish on the skin. It doesn't look like super drying or like flat. It definitely has more of like a satin finish in there. And as far as flashback goes, I don't have a problem with it with this, even though it has that SPF. I actually wore this on my prom day and like I had absolutely no problems at all. I wear it all the time when I take pictures, really no problems. I really just like have nothing bad to say. I feel like it lasts all day on the skin. MAC is like pro artistry makeup, so a lot of their products are like meant and made for that. It covers everything. Like I said, it definitely is like a full coverage foundation. It's not like light by any means. I will warn you guys that it does have a scent. It smells a lot like paint, which is really weird like the first few times you put it on, but I feel like you get used to it very quickly, and I actually really like the scent of it now. I also want to mention that the price tag on this foundation is pretty like fair, I feel like, for more of like a high-end product. I want to say it's around $27, $28, which is really good compared to a lot of foundations on the market these days. Like I know the new NARS one is around like $50, which is outrageous to me. So I definitely feel like this is a fair price, and these do last me quite a while. I feel like it takes me good like 8 to 9 months like I get out of it, and I wear it pretty often, so I really love this foundation. The next one I'm going to share is the one I'm wearing right now on my skin. As you can see, it just looks really healthy and like natural. I don't know, I just feel like it really is great. And it's the Maybelline Matte and Poreless Fit Me foundation, and I wear the shade 220 Natural Beige. I love this. Definitely has more of a satin finish on the skin. It looks a lot more natural. It's definitely not like flat or completely drying looking. It definitely has like a nice like light sheen to it on the skin. So my skin, like you can see, like I mean I obviously have highlighter here, but you can still see like right here there is a little bit of like a glow. It's not like completely flat matte. So I think it's important to know that. Like the bottle can be a little misleading. I don't feel like it's completely matte, but it definitely does a good job at keeping my oils at bay. I don't feel like I look like super shiny or dewy. It's just like a very natural finish. You also get really great coverage from this. This definitely is like a medium to full coverage depending on how much you want to build it up. And there also is a pretty good selection of shades. And this foundation is so affordable, guys. I want to say it's around $6 at Target, so super affordable. I love this. And yeah, I highly recommend it. Okay, the next one is also from Maybelline. It's the Maybelline Better Skin Foundation. Now this is actually newer to me. It's something that I've tried out recently and I love this. So I feel like first off I want to mention like the fact that it has a pump is amazing. That's the one con about both the MAC and the Maybelline Matte and Poreless. They both don't have pumps. So I feel like I waste a lot of products because of that. But this one has a pump, which is great. Stuff is so good. It's super full coverage. It's definitely a medium to full coverage foundation. But this is definitely more of a matte foundation. I don't feel like it has like a satin finish. I feel like it's pretty matte. It just lasts all day. Like I swear every time I look in the mirror when I'm wearing this, I'm just like, what? Like no oils peek through. I mean, I definitely always set and bake my face. Like guys, I think that's important to keep in mind. Like if I just walked out with foundation on and didn't set it, it would be a problem and it would probably slide off. But this one, like if you set it, it lasts like all day. It's crazy. And it just like, even though it's matte, I feel like it still looks like skin. It's definitely not a satin though, I feel like, but it's, I don't know how to describe it. It just looks good. Yes, this definitely has more of a full coverage, but I really like how it doesn't feel like one. It's definitely pretty lightweight on the skin, whereas compared to this MAC one where you can definitely feel it, like you feel like you're wearing makeup. So if you don't really like how like full coverage can feel really heavy, I recommend giving the Maybelline Better Skin a shot because I really like that it's like feels light but it still gives that coverage. So this one is loved by many. It's super affordable. I believe it's like $5 at the drugstore. They have a pretty good selection of shades as well. It does have like a spatula applicator, which is pretty nice and easy to use. This one is great. It's definitely not a matte finish. It's definitely like more of a satin finish as well, so more of a natural look. You do get pretty good coverage. I would say it's a medium, but it's buildable, so you can build it up to pretty full coverage. It doesn't feel super heavy on the skin. It lasts a pretty long time. I do find I have to touch up with this one a little bit, like my oils will throughout the day show up a bit. I feel this one on my skin a little bit more than the Better Skin, but I do really love how natural it looks, but I could still get that coverage with it. So this one's a great one. Everyone loves this. I do recommend that. And I have two more to share with you guys. So this next one I haven't used in a while, but I wanted to mention it because it really is great for oily skin people. It is the Loreal Infallible Pro Matte. Now this was so hyped up like a long time ago and it's kind of like disappeared, but I still have it in my collection and I do use it from time to time. It truly is like a serious matte finish foundation. So if you are someone who really loves that like matte flat look, which I totally understand if you're oily and you want that. I know at one point I did too. This is definitely going to give it to you. Like it's super full coverage, like very like drying. But one thing I will say is that if you do have any dryness on your skin, now even though I'm oily, like I do like tend to get dry around my nose area, it will cling to dry patches. So you definitely want to make sure your skin's like super moisturized or really oily, whatever. No dry flakes on your face, but it is definitely super matte. It's very full coverage and I do really like this one when I want that look. I do find I have to touch up with this one though. I will say that it does not last as long as a lot of the others. I do like to use a beauty blender with this one because I do feel like it can get a little bit cakey if you're not careful. So I find that using the beauty blender really helps to apply like the best amount of product. But this is again really great if you like that matte finish. That's why I wanted to include it because it is great if that's what you're looking for and it's super affordable at the drugstore. So I definitely recommend this one. Okay, and then I figured I'd save the best for last. So this foundation is definitely my favorite foundation like of all time. I know I said the MAC one is, but I'm thinking about it and the MAC one is like my favorite go-to everyday like daily foundation. I mean, I don't use it every day, like I said, like not for natural looks, but like just like all the time, like if I'm going out, like party, like this is kind of my go-to. This one right here is like my special occasion foundation. Like if I have something really serious going on or like if I really need to look good in pictures, this is what I go for. I wore this also on my prom day. I had a few different proms, but I love the way this foundation looks on my skin. Like when I get married, this is what I'll be wearing. This, very similar to the L'Oreal Infallible, and I kind of feel like as far as finish goes, not necessarily like longevity and all that stuff, but just like the finish, these are kind of similar. I love this one 100 times more. This one is super matte, so like it will just kind of cover everything. It's very full coverage. It lasts all day. It doesn't slide off the skin. It doesn't emphasize any it doesn't sit in any cracks or anything like that. It truly is like a total like airbrush foundation. Like it totally blurs everything. And if you are oily, this is like a dream. It really is. It's just like a dream product. It definitely comes with a heavy price tag though. I believe this foundation is around 40 something dollars, maybe 50. I know it's in between. It's like 40 something. That being said, it is totally worth it. The one thing again I wish it had was a pump. You do waste a ton of product because it does not have the pump, but this foundation just like locks in place. It doesn't go anywhere. It truly looks so beautiful. It's one of those products where you're like, you can't even, like, you have to see it on the skin. It's really good for photography. There's no flashback or anything like that. So if you're looking for a good like matte foundation for like a prom, sweet 16, like anything like that, this is definitely the one to go with. If you're doing a photo shoot, I always recommend this. To me, like, this is the best foundation on the market for oily skin people. I'd be interested to see how like someone with more of dry skin likes this. I don't know if they'd like it as much because like I said, it is super matte, but I know personally if you're oily, this is amazing. It just really works in conjunction with the oils on your skin very, very well. So that completes my top foundations for oily skin. I hope this was helpful for some of you guys that are struggling to find like a good foundation. I know for so long that was me, but I feel like I've really found a good set of foundations that just work with my skin type. If you have oily skin, be sure to let me know what your favorite foundation is as well. Maybe there's some that I haven't tried yet that I would really like and I could add to my collection. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!